What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the Project 404 ROM, and this is the 4th of June 2021 build as you are noticing, and this build includes the GApps. As you can see, there is a download link and stuff. I'll put all the links in the description box below, do not worry. And if you don't know how to flash this ROM on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, click on the card right there or check out the description. So right now let me show you the Android version section. This is how it looks like. We have the Android version as Android 11, of course, as you are noticing over here. And we have the Project 404 version as version 4.3, and we have the 404 version code as RIPPA, and we have the build number over there. If you're noticing, let me go back. We have the CAF revision version, and we have the baseband version, kernel version, and stuff like that. And in the about section, we have the Project 404 logo up top. Now jumping into the system panel, in the advanced settings, we have a system updater. As you are noticing, if I tap on it, there is a update checking option over here. So you can check for updates from this. And we have the other options like the gestures. And here we have the quickly open camera, as you are noticing. And we also have the system navigation gestures. If you tap on the settings, we have the gesture bar length customization, and I did change it to long, so that's the reason why the gesture bar right now is looking quite long. And we have the left edge right edge customization. Then we have amount of screen height to be used. So yeah, these kind of things are there. We have the 2 button and 3 button navigation as well over here. Then prevent ringing, swipe break screenshot is there. Let me show you. This swipe break screenshot has the share, edit and delete option, but it does not have the scrolling kind of option, or long screenshot option is just not there. In the power menu, we have the advanced restart. So let me show you. This is how the power menu looks like. We have the Google Smart Home controls over here. And if you tap on restart, we see the directly rebooting option to system or recovery. And if you tap on the 3 dots, you also get the bootloader option. Quick torch is there, and you can toggle the torch with this. And we have the playback control, adaptive playback, etc. Then we have the default keyboard as Gboard, as this build includes the GApps over here. Now this is how the settings panel looks like. Looks pretty beautiful, as you are noticing. I'll show you all the things later on. Let me show you the home screen first. And this is how the home screen looks like. We have the double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen. That is working fine. Right now let me show you the fingerprint scanner speed. And as you are noticing, the fingerprint scanner speed is totally fine, I guess, and it's not bad at all. As you are noticing, it is unlocking super fine. So very reliable fingerprint scanner experience over here, no issues whatsoever. To the left of the home screen, we do have the Google's Discover page. Swiping up gets you to the app drawer. You can search for any particular app over here. Also, if you swipe down, we have the quick settings panel like this, and the widgets and stuff in the home screen are working fine totally. By the way, if you're wondering about the stock launcher, this is the 404 launcher present by default, as you are noticing. And this is how the recent panel looks like. We have the split screen, then the pin app option. Then freeform option is also there. We have the screenshot and the clear all and the share option over here. In the launcher settings, we have the icon pack changing option. Then we also have the icon size changing option. That is great. And we have the notification dots, then the add app icons to the home screen, show Google app to the left, and we have the suggestion disabling options too. Then we have the show icon labels on desktop, on drawer as well. We have the grid and app drawer columns over here. We have the grid and app drawer rows, and we have the home screen launcher icons over there. The double tap to sleep feature is there, but there is no settings to enable or disable it in the stock launcher. And in the quick setting panel, you can tap on the edit icon, and then you can edit and add multiple toggles over here. Let me show you what are the toggles that I have added. We of course have the night light, that is working super fine. Then we also have the battery saver, then the dark theme. Dark theme does work super fine again. And we have the Android 11 screen recorder. With that, you can record the device audio and the microphone audio at the same time. The hotspot, the do not disturb, and then we have the data saver and the heads up toggle. That's it. We do not simply get any reboot toggle or the volume panel toggle. Those kind of things are simply missing because this is an initial build of the ROM and it does not have so much customizations over here. Let me tell you, in this particular ROM, there is no stock camera present by default, and I have installed this Google camera separately. This Google camera is of the PX mod version 8.1 of Unix, I guess, and we have this camera working flawlessly. And as you are noticing, there is the 1x 2x zoom, and if you switch to the front camera, as you are noticing, this is how it looks like. So yeah, front camera and stuff, everything is working fine without any issues. And also taking night side photos should be fine too. Portrait mode pictures should be working fine, and even in the video mode there is this kind of options. So yeah, video and stuff should be working fine even with rear camera. As you're noticing, there's the FHD and the 4K option. So yes, you can take 4K 30 fps videos, I guess, with this camera without any issues. And you can also enable or disable stabilization from here. By the way, if you're noticing on the quick setting panel in the Wi-Fi icon, there is 4 written. That is because my Wi-Fi router is of Wi-Fi 4 or 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi. If you have Wi-Fi 5 or 5 GHz band of Wi-Fi, it will show Wi-Fi 5 over there. So this is just great that this ROM has this kind of features, which I have never seen in other ROMs pretty much. And by the way, on the quick setting panel, this is how the brightness slider looks like. And we have the auto brightness toggle. So you can toggle the auto brightness on or off from here. Then we have the time over there. Then we have the battery status and stuff in the quick setting panel. Then inside the battery settings, this is how it looks like. Pretty simplistic. If you tap here, it doesn't do anything. You have to tap on the 3 dots, then go to the battery usage to see the full battery usage. And we have the battery percentage showing up option over there. Battery saver and the adaptive battery is there, and there is the status bar battery indicator. We have the battery style. You can change it to icon portrait, dotted circle, then the normal circle, filled circle, etc. No big dotted circle over here, but that's fine. We have the battery percentage changing option next to the icon or inside the icon over here. Let me go back. We have the full charge last about how long, and then we have the screen on time, and here it shows the screen on time. As you're noticing, it doesn't show you the battery temperature or the charging cycle and stuff like that, but that's fine. And we do have the fast charging working fine on this particular ROM, no issues with that. The battery life should be decent. You can get 6 to 7 hours of screen on time if your battery's health is good. Let me go back. We have the display settings over here. First we get the quick setting panel settings. So let me tell you, there is no customization separately, but here you get the customizations inside every settings. Like in the battery settings, you get the battery icons for the status bar. Then we have this quick setting panel settings in the display settings. So yeah, these kind of things what I'm talking about. And first we have the quick setting, quick pull down. We can set it to right side or left side. Then we have the show tile titles, and the column and row number customization is also there. Then we have the brightness slider. Then the dark theme is also there. And if you want to enable the dark theme, you definitely can. As you're noticing, this is how it looks like. And yeah, this is simply pitch black. This is not a grayish dark black. In the night light, we have this enabling option and changing the intensity option. Adaptive brightness is there, so you can enable auto brightness if you want to. In the styles and wallpapers, you can create a custom theme, which I did. Currently, I have set it to blue, but let me show you. If you go into the custom and you can choose between these 4 fonts, and you have these like status bar icons. And if you tap next, as you are noticing, these are the accent colors that you will get. So yes, the options are not much, but yes, like some options for the accent colors are there. But there is no yellow or like proper red kind of accent color over here to be expected, because this ROM is still an initial build. We get these many wallpapers, and these are the Project 404 wallpapers that you will get over here by default. Looks very beautiful. As you are noticing, I have been using it with this one, but you can go with any wallpaper, whatever you like. And in the grid settings, we have up to 6x6 grid, as you are noticing, and we also have this 5x7. In the clock options, we get plethora of like lock screen clock presets. We have the shape shift clock if you want to, then the IDE option, then the SAMI option, which I'm using. Also go with the type, then the default bubble, analog, etc. options are there. The colors are set to boosted over here, and we have the font size, display size customization. In the lock screen settings, we have the always show time and info, that is for the always on display. Then we have the wake screen for notification. You can disable it if you want to. Ambient music ticker and stuff is there. Edge notification is also there. So yeah, you can change the edge lighting notification from here. You can also change their color. In the status bar icons, we have the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons, as you are noticing. So you can enable whatever you want. Then we have the double tap to wake as well. As you can see, double tap to sleep is working fine, as well as double tap to wake is working fine. Let me go into the sound settings. This is how it looks like. We have the media, call, ringtone, etc. volume and stuff. And this is how the volume panel looks like. By the way, you can expand the volume panel just like this. Well, this is showing green because I did not reboot the UI after setting the new accent color. So yeah, and here we have the dial pad tone, screen locking sound, charging sound, touch vibration, etc. And authentication vibration is also there. You can disable it. Screenshots or sound, you can also change that. And then there is the volume panel style. So you can change the volume panel style to AOSP, compact, or tiled. I have been using it with the AOSP that has this expanding kind of thing over here, as you're noticing. Let me go back. We have the security settings over here. There we have the fingerprint option, and if you go into the settings, we have the power button instantly locks and lock screen timeout over here. And also we have the face unlock. So first, let me just quickly set up the face unlock. Let's see how fast the face unlock is. So setting up face unlock is done. Right now I'll just double tap over here and double tap to wake. Let's put the phone towards my face and it unlocks. Let me show you one more time. As you can see, the face unlock is working flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. Talking about the app lock, this is how the app locker interface looks like. We have this authenticate only once option, and here we can also search for any particular app as you are noticing. And right now if I lock this Telegram app and then if I try to open it, this is how it looks like. Pretty similar, all the ROMs has the same app lock over here right now. And right now if I tap the fingerprint scanner, as you can see, it unlocks the particular app. So yeah, you can also use the pin if you want to. So we do have the normal fingerprint scanner unlocking, then we have the face unlock, also we have the app lock. Pretty great kind of options for security. Also, if you're wondering if the IR blaster is working fine over here, as you are noticing, the IR blaster is totally working fine. No issues whatsoever with the IR blaster on this particular build. And talking about SafetyNet, it passes the SafetyNet test right out of the box, as you are noticing. So you can use banking apps like Google Pay or SBI card, any apps like that on this particular build without any issues. Also, the DRM certification stays L1 over here, so it should not be a problem while streaming Netflix or Amazon Prime in 1080p or Full HD. And if you're worried about the performance and stuff, I would say just watch the benchmark over here. So in my personal opinion, the performance should be good enough. So right now let me just open a couple of apps that I have opened already. So first let's open Chrome. As you can see, it is in memory. Twitter is still in the RAM. Play Store, yes, it is still in RAM, I guess, yeah. And YouTube, yes, as you're noticing, still in the RAM. And yeah, the Google Home is still in the RAM. So memory management should be good enough too. In my personal opinion, if you just want a simplistic custom ROM on the Redmi Note 7 Pro right now, you can definitely go with the Project 404 ROM, and you might as well like it because it has the double tap to sleep anywhere in the home screen and stuff. But yeah, it does not have amazing features like always unlock with the fingerprint scanner and stuff. Those features are simply missing, or the brightness control adjustment and stuff like that are simply missing over here. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today. I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.